right, we made it.
I want to welcome everyone to tonight's meeting of the Yountville Town Council. Just as a note, we did convene at 4:15 p.m. this afternoon to interview four candidates for the Go Green Team Committee, and we will have that item on the agenda for appointments later this evening. Just to make the comment, Mayor John Dunbar is out of town tonight, so I am chairing the meeting in his absence. And we can just go ahead and start off with the roll call.
Councilmember Hall?
Here.
Councilmember Moeller?
No
Councilmember
microphone,
Dorenbecker?
but I'm here.
Vice Mayor
Here.
Chilton? Let
Here.
the record reflect that Mayor Dunbar is excused. Joanna, Steve, can you let TJ?
We
Hello?
don't
We
have,
don't have any
mics are dead.
microphones.
Maybe that's a good thing.
We'll wait 1 minute.
Mics are on. Sound like this is mic'd?
Testing, testing.
Okay.
Now it is.
Okay. Sam, talk.
You can hear us back there. Okay. If everyone can join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. We'll move on to item 6, which is the adoption of tonight's agenda. Do we have any changes or corrections to tonight's agenda?
Mr. Vice Mayor, I would like some clarification on one of the, oh, no, not the agenda.
You want to pull a consent item?
Yeah.
or- Okay.
I make a move that we adopt the agenda.
Hold on one
Just
second.
one
I think we
moment.
may have a...
Yes, thank you, Vice Mayor. We do have a correction to the agenda tonight on file ID number 15-158, and it's correcting the Grand Fondo event date to be Sunday, April 26th, rather than April 16th.
Great, thank you. And just to point out, we are using our electronic voting system on our iPads tonight, which is fairly new for us. So if someone can make a verbal motion and also push the little motion button.
Aye.
You have a, is there a second? Is the second?
I'll second.
We have a motion
I don't have
by
a button.
Councilwoman Dorenbecker and a second by Councilman Hall. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Uh-oh.
And it didn't record the mayor's excused. Not good.
Yeah, I don't think I have that on my screen, so.
That's okay. It might
That's
come
the
up on
issue.
the next time, but we'll
No problem.
check it out.
Yeah, so the mayor voted. Wow.
So
How did he vote? He's not even
he
here.
didn't, and he's marked as excused on roll call.
Technology.
Okay, so we should just pass on this because it's marked here as excused.
There you go.
And-
So moving on, item 7 is public comment. If anyone here in the audience has a comment about an item that is not on tonight's agenda, this is your time. Anyone? No one is moving.
Okay.
And I will just, I want to make a quick comment at the beginning of
Try that now and see.
the meeting. I think, as sure everyone knows, that we had a traumatic incident, the murder-suicide in Yountville, or south of Yountville, not in town limits, yesterday, and at least one of our Yountville sheriff's deputies, I talked to one of them specifically, so I know there could have been more. They were the very first people on the scene. They saw some pretty dramatic things and were involved in the chase. So nobody ever got up going to work and thinking they were going to experience what those guys experienced. Fortunately, they were not involved in any of the shooting themselves. I had to make those choices, but I just want to thank, I'm sure on behalf of the entire council, for those folks putting themselves in very much harm's way for our benefit. So thank you very much. Moving on to item number 8, the consent calendar. And I know Councilwoman Dorenbecker wants to pull an item. Should we
I'd
pull an
like
item?
to pull 15-158 about the Grand Fondo, just for some clarification on the map.
Okay, we will pull the 4th consent calendar item, 15-158. Are there any other, or should we have a motion for the rest of the consent calendar?
I'll move to approve the consent calendar with the exception of 15158.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hall, second by Councilwoman Dorenbecker. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That passes unanimously. And item 15158.
Yes, so I have had a few residents ask me about the street closures for the Grand Fondo, and I'd like to understand clearly where those will, from what I understand, they will not be right in the downtown area, but in the north end of town. Is that correct? And it's not Washington Street?
That is correct. So the Fondo is it's a mad start, so everyone starts at the same time from the Yountville Community Center. They'll have the sheriff's deputies leading them out of town, and so it's really just what we call a rolling closure. It's a very intermittent thing. Traffic won't be impeded for long. They'll go up Yonton Street for that, and then when they return, the only street closure that'll be in places right there adjacent to Yountville Community Park, just for the safety of the cyclists coming in and parking their bikes for the after event. So there isn't actually any other street closures that would.
And Washington Street, I just want to make this clear that Washington Street near the community center is not going to be closed.
No, it is not. Washington Street, there is no closure at all.
Okay, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Any other questions on this item? Have a motion to approve it?
I'll make a motion to approve item number 15-158, resolution 15-3247, approving the special event application and street closure for the Bodega Grand Fondo on Sunday, April 21st, 6th,
Thank you.
2015.
Second.
That is moved by Councilwoman Dorenbecker
And a
and
quick
seconded
record. See
by
if something pops up on your
Councilman
iPad.
Hall as amended.
Okay. Can you check your iPads and see if the record vote showed up?
Mm.
Didn't? Okay. How about now?
Boy,
Oh, yes, it did.
Yeah. Oh, this is fun.
Okay.
It's like a video game.
Okay.
It's our first time.
Okay, one more. We need one more vote in there. Okay, now everyone's done.
Yeah.
How come that part's working and the other part's not?
I don't know. I think she pressed a button. Oh, it looks better now. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, thanks for
The mayor
humoring
didn't
me.
vote.
It is like a video game.
Okay, we will move on. Item 9 on our agenda are presentations, and our first presentation is a presentation of the Napa County Mosquito Abatement District's annual report. And these guys look like they're having a good time. They're dressed for a party. So, Steve, are you going to start it off? Steve Rosa, former council member and employee of the town, who has been the Yountville representative to the Mosquito Abatement District since forever.
Yeah, 25 years
Oh, wow.
and 3 months. Is this on?
It is, but you really can't
Okay,
hear much.
all righty. Yeah, hi, I'm Steve Rosa. I'm the town's representative of the Napa County Mosquito Abatement District. And as we've said, I've been there a long time. And it's a pleasure to be here, Vice Mayor, Council, and staff. Thank you very much. I brought with me Mr. Wes Maffei. He's our manager, been our manager for 15 years? 17 years. Time flies and you're having fun. Anyway, the district's been moving along. We've been working on our programmatic environmental impact report now for a couple of years now, and it's just about ready to get wound up here. We finished the solarization of the facility. I think that was last year, and we did some other cost saving things. We did LED lighting for all of our security lighting, indoor lighting. Saved us a pile of money on a monthly basis. But anyway, those are small things. As far as the mosquito stuff goes, regulations are mounting up on us, and Wes can discuss that with you. As with any agency or entity, we're regulated and overregulated by everyone. So, having said that, I'll turn it over to Wes, and he can go into some of the more technical aspects of what we do.
Thank you, Steve. Welcome back.
Thank you. Members of the council, members of the audience. Just again, a real quick refresher. We're one of the older special districts in the county, and we're the largest, meaning we cover the entire county. Initially, our focus was mosquito control. Over the years, that has expanded. It includes yellow jackets. It includes advice on rodents. It includes advice on ticks, tick-borne diseases. And so it's broadened to include most organisms that might be a vector or something that would transmit disease to people, pets, or livestock. That being said, there's a couple of handouts that you have. One is just sort of a summary of mosquitoes and sort of the top 10 bad actors in the county, 4 of which now vector West Nile virus, which up until a few years ago, this wasn't really an issue for us. And a couple of these species were originally just nuisance species. Now, unfortunately, they happen to be the primary vectors of this disease, so it's become a really big issue for us. Little house mosquito being number one, and that particular mosquito breeds in any kind of container that is in a person's yard. So it doesn't just have to be a water garden. It can be a bucket. It can be an old cement sink. Sumps in the yard, sumps in the basement. You know, some of the older homes have ways of managing water that collects under the house. These things will breed in septic systems. And so it becomes a real problem trying to find the breeding sites. And because this mosquito carries this virus, this is now a big deal. You also have included this lovely little map that came off of the California Department of Health Services website. And it summarizes the West Nile virus activity for 2014, which was the second highest year in the 12 years that this virus has been present in this state. We think about last year was a dry year, and you're like, well, wait a minute, what's the deal here? What this is about, you have to keep in mind that rainfall pattern can make a difference. You can have a dry year, but if it all comes at just the right time and it's not really spread out, and or folks start to save water because of the drought, which we're seeing a lot of, this all contribute to the possibility of having a banner year for West Nile virus. The other thing that's really important about this is in drought years or drought periods, mosquitoes will be competing for water sources. And what we find is that they will come closer to wherever they can find water. Well, where are you going to most likely find water? People. All around the home, that's typically where you're going to get it. And so we begin to see more interaction between people and mosquitoes, and therefore, even though it's a dry year, you see an increase in mosquito-borne virus activity, in this case, West Nile virus. A couple other things to keep in mind. Napa County's only had 3 human cases in the 12 years, the last one being 2013. If we look at total number of cases in California for the last 12 years, you're looking at about 4,800 cases, 174 fatalities. So there's clearly a lot of activity, predominantly Central Valley, Southern California, but we do see some of that here, especially in the Sacramento, Yolo County area. For Yountville, we have a technician that is assigned to the Canaris area, City of Napa, west of the highway, and Yountville, and that is their full-time job. Last year, we had 28 yellow jacket nests that were destroyed here within the town limits. So folks call, they found a nest, we take care of it. We had 25 requests for service associated with mosquitoes and rodents. Again, keep in mind that rodents is more informational, but we can provide information about how to keep these things out of your home and what are some of the natural ways for reducing a rodent population without having to use baits or snap traps and things for which there could be risk to other animals or even children. You also have this lovely handout, which is the handout on yellow jackets. And it's a program that we started about 8-9 years ago, and it has obviously become very, very popular. And we do probably somewhere in the order of about 600 to 700 nests a year that people find. A lot of these are either near homes, or they're in parks, or they're in rights of way where folks spend time, and so we take care of those nests. Other than that, I will open it up for questions.
Any questions?
Well, it's really not, I guess it doesn't work, so it doesn't really matter, right?
It does work. We just can't hear it, but they can.
We can't hear it. I see. Okay, so I should talk into it. First, I'd just like to say that I think some of these programs that you do are excellent. I don't know how to get the word out to more people, because I've certainly seen people tell me they have a yellow jacket problem, and we provided the number to contact you, and your office has been incredibly responsive and actually took care of the problem. It's better than, I'll see people in their car spraying out the car window with a can of Raid, and you guys do a much better job and actually gets rid of them. So just, if we could maybe think of some ways to let more people know. As you said, you've taken care of 28 nests alone here in Yountville. So I would say we have a problem. So to make sure that we can get that word out, I think is important. So thanks for everything you do.
Oh, thank you. We do have an advertisement that we place in the Yountville Sun, and then we have it in all of the papers within the valley. We also have radio spots on both KVON and KVYN. And then, so periodically we'll do presentations at schools or at service groups. So any sort of Rotary Club or Kiwanis or Lions, if they contact us, I'll come out and chat with y'all.
Have you ever thought about changing your name so it just doesn't have mosquito in there? So
we could change it to mosquito and vector, and then it just sort of gets really long, and everybody goes, "What's a vector?" So we kept mosquito because everybody goes, "Yeah, those things."
Yeah, okay.
We know what those are. But otherwise, thank you again.
Okay,
appreciate it.
I just have first of all, thank you for the service you guys provide. I wasn't one of your calls, but I could have been. I took matters into my own hands. That said, in a drought, you indicated that it's really still an issue with mosquitoes. And I know that we all think there's really no water out there, but we get water pooling in things that we have out in our backyards and stuff like that. So it's still important for people to turn those things over or to communicate when they see that. Is that's correct, right?
Yes, it is correct. Keep in mind that the water has to stagnate for at least 4 or 5 days. If it's something that's there and 3 days later it dries up, that's sort of a non-issue. But where you have stagnant water sources that are persistent or that last for many weeks, yes, this is a really big deal. And what we're finding, the biggest problem that we noticed last year and that we're anticipating this year is, again, the drains in yards, the overwatering where the water collects in the storm drains in the street, people saving water or not maintaining septic systems properly. These are a lot of the problems that we don't know about, and it's the challenge is we can't go through every yard at will. Obviously, if we could, it'd be a lot easier, but you get into a lot of other issues which really aren't pleasant, such as privacy and all of that. And so managing that water is everything. If we're able to do that, we can really minimize that type of activity, because the wildlife also is going to start coming closer to the water sources.
Sure.
And so when you have wildlife, people, and mosquitoes, you've got the perfect formula.
Yeah. Well, there we go. There's the speaker. So now I can sound a little more effective. And it's a good point, because your irrigation is also one of the sources, and I noticed that because you water someplace, and if it doesn't quite drain so well, or you have toys that collect water for weeks at a time, they become habitats.
Yeah, or Uncle Bob's concrete sink.
Yeah.
He stores in the back corner.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I do have a question for you, too, and that is that I've been noticing that despite the drought, there are giant bug hatches going on. And so only a small percentage of those are mosquitoes, correct? Or?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
there are. We're seeing the crane flies or the daddy long legs, like the really big, they look like giant mosquitoes. And then you also see the midges, which come out in clouds. You're going down the sidewalk and get a face full of these things. Again, the insects are taking advantage of the weather that we've had in this instance. We had all that rain in December. It was really wet. It's been warm, and they've just gone to town while they can before everything gets really dry.
And there's no way that you can tell the difference between a mosquito that's one of the house-type mosquitoes and another kind of mosquito?
Well, this little handout and our website,
Okay.
which is napamosquito.org, actually has descriptions and images of some of the insects that look like mosquitoes. Other than them biting you, which obviously if it bites you, it most likely is. typically mosquitoes look like they stand up on the ends of their legs so that their body's raised up off the ground. Midges, they'll press themselves. It looks like somebody almost smashed them with a book against the wall. And they tend to be attracted to lights. So that's the other thing. You leave the porch light on at night, you come out the next morning and the wall's brown with all of these midges. So again, you can draw these mosquito-like insects into your home, which can be rather unpleasant. So again, how you work with the lighting can make some difference there.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you very much. I was
Thank
going
you
to say that unlike Councilmember Hall, I wasn't foolish enough to take care of a yellow jacket problem myself, but I know several years ago you guys came out to our house, and then this past year, with the help of town staff, there was a really large mosquito nest in Beard Ditch behind Holly Street, which got my wife and a couple of kids because a dog found it, unfortunately. So I think one thing everybody needs to know is that your service is there, and we already pay for it. When you see your property tax bill, there's a line item for this district. So it's not free. You've paid for it, so take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
And,
Give us a call. We'll be there.
Yes, and I agree. You guys were out the same day, so it was very nice. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next presentation is the year in review for the Yountville Arts Commission. And I assume, Ms. Cook, are you presenting?
I am.
Wonderful.
Kimberly Cook, Chair of the Yountville Arts Commission. Good evening, council members. Thank you for the opportunity to present this to you. It's been a very busy year, and I won't go read it to you, but a few of the highlights were that we had 4 shows in the gallery at the community center, including one that featured the artists of the Veterans Home. So that was a fun show. 11 book club meetings with 2 events that they put on. We added 11 new sculptures to the Art Walk. We actually sold 8 sculptures off the Art Walk, which is providing some additional income for us. And we held 2 fundraising events to help support what we do. We could not do any of this without the support of the town, of course, although our 5 volunteers work hard, and generally their spouses too. But we survive under the direction of Steve Rogers with the financial support of the council that you guys have granted us, with the tireless behind-the-scene work of Samantha Holland, with the help of the Public Works Department, and with the continued help of 2 of our previous members, Rhonda Scher and Rob Winterberg. Both also still provide us with some help. So that makes it all work. Going forward for 2015, although we've lost one of our fundraising events that we held with the Taste of Yountville, we won't be holding that one. We've planned a bigger and better event on April 11th with our 3rd annual Art Sip and Stroll. We've expanded it to include not just our Art Walk artists and wine tasting, but also 22 juried artists to be there. So we hope to see you all there, and we'll just keep doing what we do. Anything bad?
Does anybody have any
Okay.
questions or comments?
Just a comment. I just want to commend you and the commission. You've done an outstanding job for the town, and we're becoming known as much for our art as we are for our Epicurean delight. So I hand that all to you. You've done a great job. Thank you.
It's fun, and we're enjoying adding this element, and we'd like to continue to do so. So the quality of the art for the sculptures that we're starting to get is definitely on the rise. We've been noticed, and people are coming to us looking to place pieces. So it's very exciting.
It's great.
Just a quick comment. First of all, I want to thank you and the entire commission for all of your work and efforts. One question on the amount of art that was actually sold from the Art Walk, because as you said, it generates income. Is that the most that we've ever actually seen transaction-wise?
Yes. Yeah. Before that, it had been 1 or 2 pieces.
Okay.
Generally, Rhonda is the person that still handles the sales for us.
Right.
We either put her on the plaque, or sometimes they've heard about her and they contact her. I've sold a piece, Samantha's sold a piece. It's kind of, we handle it. But with the help of Rhonda, some of the pieces even can't stop You remember that one, the red Running
I'm
Man?
running.
Went to Switzerland.
He sold and shipped to Switzerland.
Wow.
So it's not just, here's your sculpture, here's a check. You know, it's a lot of work, a lot of follow-up work, and that would be really hard without Rhonda's help. She's good at that. So.
Well, and I was going to say, as already mentioned, I think it was even in a large meeting last week, there was discussion around how the Napa Valley, and then mentioned specifically Yountville and the art, is becoming a destination as well. So
Good.
just again, thank you all for your efforts and making
welcome.
our community that much more enjoyable for all of us.
Good, we enjoy it.
Well,
Thank you.
this I guess it's my last opportunity to say it, but I used to refer to this as the most successful committee in the history of government, and I guess it's now the
Appreciate
most
that.
successful commission in the history of government. The impact that you and everyone on the Arts Commission has had over the years on Yountville is truly spectacular. You talk about the financial support of the town, which really is very small compared to what you all pull off. I know we have a lot of administrative support and time, which is very important. But I think it's one of those things that, you know, other places in Napa Valley have done studies and put together commissions, and you guys just do stuff and make it happen. And you should really be commended for that. And I don't think most people understand how few people pull all this off. So my statement to the rest of the world out there, anybody that is listening, one of the great things about Yountville, whether you live here for 20 years or you've been here for 2 months, you can get involved, you can make an impact on this community. Please, if you're passionate about art and you're willing to do some work, come and join these people and help them out, because I'm sure they could use it. But the impact it's had on this town to take it from a nice town to a totally different dynamic, that you see people out there taking pictures and they're still out there laying down in the mushrooms and stealing tomatoes. But it's had a really great impact, and for your all's time and almost no money. So it really is impressive. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And yeah, we are a very open commission, and anybody can come and bring an idea and throw their hat in the ring and help us out. We're always open to that too. Thank you.
Thank you.
If I may, just a few comments. One, we do have a very unique commission in the sense that they're both a policy and a programming doing committee, both as an extension of Parks and Rec. But there's a few things I want to highlight, because I think Chair Cook was very modest in commenting on some of the accomplishments. I just want the community to realize that the Arts Commission acquired and donated the chef sculpture to the town as a commemorative gift in honor of the 50th anniversary celebration this year. The Commission's been heavily involved in supporting the timeline and a few other initiatives for the 50th anniversary, and they're beginning to launch the fundraising efforts and the discussion about the sculpture for the installation at Town Hall, as well as taking on a fairly daunting task, which is trying to revitalize the mural project at the underpass, in addition to trying to adjust some of their programs to reflect what the residents are interested. Much like a whole lot of others, the programming side of it does have some marketability. In other words, what are people interested in? And every once in a while we have some great ideas and people aren't always as interested in something, and then they give us feedback. So that is, I think, for many of us that are associated with it, I will have to say, we got an awful lot done in this community, and this community is certainly enriched by the contributions and the leadership and support. And again, I think the Arts Commission it's a fun one for a lot of staff to work with. We don't always keep up with them on the pace that they can move, but it's certainly a fun one for generally for those of us when you can see the results. And I think that's one of the neat things, as you've alluded to.
Okay, thank you very much. And Christy, thank you for coming as well. You don't want to get up and... No? Perfect. We will move on to item 10 very quickly. There are no public hearings, which means we will move on to item 11, which are our administrative and regular items, which we do have one, and this is item 15-155, which is considering adoption of a resolution to establish the Go Green Team and appointing 5 members to serve on an advisory body. We did do interviews starting at 4:15 today of 4 individuals, and the 5th had a pre-scheduled, I think, vacation. Can't argue with that. But gave written answers to questions.
Right. So, yeah, the town council conducted interviews earlier this afternoon and unanimously voted to appoint Billy Hewitt, Janet Claire Gotch, Alyssa Wickstrom, Davio Santos, and Sherry Britigan to the Go Green team. And so now the town council has before them the resolution that establishes the Go Green team and appoints those 5 members to serve as an advisory body.
I'll make a motion that we approve the adoption of resolution number 15-3248, establishing the Go Green team and appointing 5 members to serve on the advisory body with the terms of office to expire March 18th, 2016.
Second.
We have a motion and a second by Councilwoman Hall and Councilwoman Dorenbecker and Councilman Hall. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, you can vote yes, no, or you can abstain on your iPad.
See your votes up there in a
I
minute.
don't know if the screen's going to do it, but I still wanted to go through the motions.
Yeah.
What? Oh.
Go through the motions?
Yeah.
Good one.
And I believe that motion passed unanimously, 4-0. Even though we can't see it in here tonight.
They're logging in at Granicus. For
No
another
problem.
reason.
I see.
Okay, that's our only administrative regular item. Items, Section 12, staff and informational reports. We have one informational report regarding the town auditor. Is there anything to add to the report?
No, informational items are just presented as that basis. There's no staff report or follow-through or action to be taken by the council.
Any other reports? Seeing or hearing none, we will move on to council meeting reports, comments, and agenda item requests. Councilwoman Dorenbecker, did you go to the Napa County Flood Control meeting?
Yes, I did. I attended the Napa County Flood Control meeting today, and it was a brief meeting. There was only one thing on the agenda there also, and it was a report by the chair, Supervisor Brad Wagenknecht, on the trip that he made to Washington, D.C., looking for more money to complete the big project in Napa for the I've forgotten what they call it now, the big project at Soskull near the Oxbow Market, the Oxbow project, I guess, which is going to be very nice when it's done. But unfortunately, the Corps of Engineers in Washington, D.C. are withholding certain funds so that at the wrap-up of the project, they will be able to provide a book with all of the goings-on and a major report. So they're holding on to funding that could be used to finish this, because at the end of it, they need the funding to pay for a report to be done.
Nice.
So it's sort of a dilemma, but they're continuing to work with it, and Congressman Mike Thompson is working with them on that in D.C.
Only a dilemma if you're in a federal bureaucracy, right? Upper Valley Waste Management. Was there a meeting? Would you like to report
Yes,
on?
we met yesterday, and one of the next activities that we're having that I want to announce is hazardous household waste event. It will occur same day as Art, Sip, and Stroll, so you can remember it that way, April the 11th. It's from 9 to 3, and it's behind Rutherford Grove Winery, so it's not very far north of Yountville. Everybody can come and bring your fluorescent bulbs and any paint and any pesticides, and I have to throw a pitch in that one of the things I really like about it is people bring all this stuff that sometimes has never even been opened, and they put it out on a free table. So I highly recommend, if you don't have anything to throw away, come and get a lot of great stuff, because if you can use it, it's better than paying somebody to dispose of these hazardous household waste. So, and then in Yountville, On April 17th for Earth Day, I'm organizing for the second year a shredded event in collaboration with West America Bank. So that will be Friday, April 17th from 2 to 4. You can bring all those papers that are sitting on top of your shredder that you don't want to shred at home or anyplace else. We're also going to have big bins for e-waste. So you can bring e-waste and any kind of papers you would like shredded, and come on by West America Bank and help us celebrate Earth Day.
What time?
2 to 4 p.m. Last year, same day, it rained like crazy. So
Let's hope so.
You don't know, but
hope.
right, Samantha was out there with me, so it was pouring rain that whole time. So April 17th, 2 to 4, West America Bank.
And I have one question. I don't know if it's too premature to ask, but is there going to be a trash pickup day, or do we know?
Yes, we are. That's already scheduled. Samantha can address that at the same time, and our garage sale will also be occurring this year. I'll turn it over to Sam for those specifics.
I'll go to another item and we'll come back. Did you get it?
No, but I'm looking at that calendar. So,
Okay, so it's. Do you know what it is? I know what it is, but I thought I'd give you the opportunity to tell us about
You
it.
get the mic.
okay. So yes, so it's May 10th is our annual Yountville garage sale, yard sale, and then the following Sunday is the pickup day, the 17th. So
Saturday.
I'm sorry, Saturday the 16th.
Is it Saturday?
It's Saturday because Mother's Day is on the 9th, right?
Sorry, Saturday the 16th.
Right.
Where they'll be picking up curbside, and ratepayers will receive their voucher in the mail with their instructions, but it's also available on our website.
So May the 9th is the Saturday?
I was looking at that wrong. May 9th is the yard sale.
The day before Mother's Day, so bring your mother out.
The week
May
after, the week after
16th.
Derby Day?
May 16th is the town-wide cleanup.
My wedding anniversary. So.
Thank you.
Just to make a note, tomorrow is the regularly scheduled Napa County Transportation and Planning Agency meeting. However, that meeting has been canceled, and I believe there's going to be some sort of meeting here in Yountville in April. Am I right about that?
It's a retreat.
Okay. There's good. Yeah. So the whole board is going to meet here, and so watch for that
Hotel Yountville.
at a different time. And you have a report as well.
I do. I also serve on the Watershed Information Center and Conservancy, and on May the 21st, they will be having a watershed symposium in the city of Napa at City Winery, and that sits right along the river, so they felt that was a nice place to have it. But come on out, it's open to the public, and learn about the watershed and how to protect it.
Are there any announcements?
Well, we do have Yountville Live starting
This weekend.
Thursday, the day after tomorrow, and there may be some tickets still available. And then on Saturday, we have sort of a hybrid of Yountville Days.
Taste of Yountville.
Taste of Yountville. Excuse me. So there will be an area at the community center, I believe, that has tastings, and you can buy a wristband for $40 and taste there.
I'll just point out that Yountville Little League had the opening night, since there is an official opening day this Saturday. Opening night last night at Canashow Field, just behind us here at Town Hall. We were on the comeback trail until the game was called for darkness. But there's another game tomorrow night, and then this coming Saturday is sort of the official opening day with the ceremonies that we typically have every year, which I believe starts at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then the game starts at 11. So we've got the world's greatest Little League snack shack is back there, and we're going to try to get the schedule put in the paper just so people can know to come by, and you can buy a hot dog and watch a little bit of free baseball. It's fun to watch the kids out there, and the sunset last night was spectacular. So please support your Yountville Little League. Another announcement?
Yes, I was actually going to turn it over to Samantha again, just so she could announce Breakfast with the Bunny and the Easter egg hunt, which is always one of my favorite events.
Oh, that's so nice, Margie. So Saturday, April 4th, the day before Easter, we have our annual Easter egg hunt at Yountville Community Park and Breakfast with the Bunny. That has also been moved to the park. This will be the second year we're at the park. And you can have the pancake breakfast, and CAL FIRE generously comes out and helps us cook. Or you could just have coffee and a donut if you want, with the egg hunt starting promptly at 10. We do not wait for anyone. And a lot of rain will cancel. But, you know, that's okay. We need rain, but we need eggs too, right?
Right.
And I'll just make one more announcement. Thank you, Sam. I'll make one more announcement that if you're not familiar with, you should be. A Wild Night at the Castle is occurring on Napa's at Castello d'Amoroso on Saturday, April 4th in support of Wildlife Rescue Center for Napa County, which I formerly served on their board. Anyways, it should be a fun night and lots of wild stuff going on.
Anything else? Thank you for the gentleman from CAL FIRE who sat through the whole meeting and didn't take your opportunity to come up and speak. That's all right. Our next item is item 14, closed session. Are we going to go into closed session? We have two items that are on the agenda, but we are not going to
No need to go into closed session tonight.
So there will be obviously no reportable action. Therefore, we will move on to everybody's favorite item, item 15, adjournment. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second.
We vote on this?
Do you want me to do it?
Like a video. We got to practice.
Okay, well, say
Make
the
your-
motion again. I wasn't on that one.
I make a motion to adjourn the Town Council regular meeting Tuesday, April 7, 2015 at 6 p.m. being held in... What's the
The
correction?
vice chair knows, but I didn't share it with the rest of you. I'm sorry. We're going to adjourn to the special meeting on Monday, March 23rd at 9:30 a.m. for a closed session item.
Okay.
Sorry
Thank you.
about
We're
that.
going to adjourn to the special meeting on Monday,
9.
March 23rd at 9 a.m.
Boy,
You brought this upon yourself.
at Town Council Chambers located 6550 Yonge Street, Yountville.
And I'll second.
okay, motion second, record, and I'm going to start voting for you guys, but you don't get to see it.
This is
'cause
good
someone
practice.
else
Everybody hit the
did.
yes button on your iPad. Thank you very much. Appreciate everybody tuning in and coming tonight. Have a great evening. Happy St. Patrick's Day.